Most men think attraction is about pickup lines and tactics. But what if everything you've learned about attracting women was actually working against you? I once coached a client who spent years memorizing perfect openers, only to realize women could sense his insincerity immediately. His transformation began with one simple principle: authenticity. What if the ancient Stoics already solved the attraction puzzle thousands of years ago? In this video, I'll show you 19 Stoic principles that create genuine attraction. These timeless approaches build real confidence and authentic connections with women who value substance, the kind of connections that last beyond the first impression. The dichotomy of control in dating. The first problem I see with most men trying to attract women is their focus on the wrong things. They obsess over her response, whether she seems interested, if she'll give them her number, or how quickly she texts back. These are all outcomes they can't control. This is where Stoicism offers a powerful perspective shift. The ancient Stoics taught something called the dichotomy of control, a simple but profound idea that some things are within our control and others aren't. The only things truly in your control are your character, your intentions, and your actions. Everything else, including how a woman responds to you, isn't. Consider this scenario. You see someone attractive across the room. Most men immediately think, how do I get her number? But a Stoic approach asks, how can I present my authentic self in this interaction? This fundamental difference changes everything about your energy and approach. Think about the last time you approached a woman you were interested in. Were you focused on getting a specific outcome, like her number or a date? Or were you focused on bringing your best self to that interaction? Most men are completely outcome-focused, which creates a nervous energy women can sense immediately. Next time you're about to approach someone you're interested in, ask yourself, am I focusing on outcomes I can't control, or on being the best version of myself? This simple question transforms how you come across. Most modern dating advice encourages manipulation because it promises control over outcomes. Say this line and she'll give you her number. But this promised control is an illusion. You cannot control another person's feelings or response. Instead of approaching with the goal of getting her number, focus on having a genuine conversation and presenting your authentic self. That's it. Whether she responds positively remains outside your control. This mindset shift removes the desperate energy that often repels women. When you're not trying to control the outcome, you stop giving off that vibe of neediness that women can detect instantly. There's another benefit. When you focus only on what you can control, rejection loses its power over you. If you brought your best self to an interaction, her response doesn't define your worth or success. Your conversations become more natural because you're present, engaged, and authentic. You listen better because you're not frantically planning your next line. You respond genuinely because you're not filtering everything through the lens of will this help me get a date. Here's the paradox. When you let go of controlling her response, you become more attractive. Women sense you're grounded rather than seeking approval. This quiet confidence is magnetic in a way manipulation tactics never will be. This principle extends throughout the entire dating process. Focus on bringing your best self rather than controlling her feelings. Be honest, engaged, and true to your values. Treat her with respect and genuine interest. By focusing solely on what you can control, you improve the likelihood of favorable outcomes while making yourself immune to unfavorable ones. Your peace of mind no longer depends on her response. Virtuous intent. Approaching with integrity. Most dating advice you'll find online teaches men to use indirect approaches. They tell you to hide your intentions, use misleading conversation starters, or create false scarcity to appear more valuable. This advice might help you get phone numbers, but it creates connections built on shaky foundations. Stoicism offers a more authentic approach grounded in virtue. The Stoic philosophy emphasizes honesty, courage, justice, and moderation as the foundation for a good life. Unlike tactical dating advice that separates intentions from actions, Stoicism integrates philosophical principles into everyday interactions, including how you approach women. Approaching with virtuous intent means being honest about your interest without expecting anything in return. Your actions stem from integrity, rather than manipulation. When you approach a woman with virtuous intent, you express genuine interest in her as a person, rather than viewing her as a conquest or challenge to overcome. This doesn't mean awkwardly announcing your intentions with something like, "Hello, I find you attractive and would like to pursue a romantic connection." Having virtuous intent simply means aligning your actions with your words, being genuine about who you are and why you're starting a conversation. Consider this scenario. You notice a woman at a bookstore browsing a section you're familiar with. Instead of using a rehearsed line about how her choice in books reveals something about her personality, a common indirect tactic, you might say, "Hi, I noticed you're looking at historical fiction. I enjoyed that author's last book. I'm Michael, by the way." This approach is honest, contextual, and gives her space to engage naturally. Women have developed incredible intuition for detecting when a man's approach lacks integrity. They've experienced countless men with hidden agendas, men who say one thing but clearly want another, men who use rehearsed lines they've used on dozens of others. This has given most women a finely tuned radar for inauthentic approaches. By approaching with virtuous intent, you immediately distinguish yourself from men who rely on tactics and games. You build trust from the beginning when your words match your actions, and your intentions are transparent, creating a foundation for authentic connection. Even if she's not interested, you maintain your integrity and self-respect, something no rejection can diminish. When your approach comes from virtue, rejection doesn't diminish you because your worth wasn't dependent on her response. Your worth comes from your character and integrity. Before approaching a woman, ask yourself, would I respect someone who approached a woman the way I'm about to? This question brings you back to your own values. If your intended approach doesn't align with how you'd want someone to approach your sister or friend, it probably lacks virtue. Approaching with virtuous intent is both ethically sound and pragmatically effective. Women are drawn to authenticity in a world full of games and manipulation. By bringing integrity to your first interaction, you establish the foundation for something genuine rather than something based on tactics. Memento Mori. Creating genuine presence. The Stoics practice something called Memento Mori. Remember that you must die. This isn't meant to be morbid, but a powerful reminder that life is fleeting. This awareness completely transforms how you approach dating and interact with women. Think about the last conversation you had with a woman you were attracted to. Where was your mind? Most men aren't actually present during these interactions. They're thinking about what to say next, worrying about making a good impression, or anxiously wondering if she's going to reject them. Their bodies are there, but their minds are elsewhere, usually stuck in anxiety about the future or regrets about the past. Imagine watching a beautiful film while constantly checking your phone. You miss the subtle expressions, the emotional beats, the visual poetry, essentially experiencing only fragments of something meant to be whole. This is exactly what happens in conversations when you're mentally elsewhere. Memento Mori transforms dating by creating an urgency to be fully present. When you internalize that life is short, you realize that wasting this moment on anxiety means sacrificing something precious that you'll never get back. The next time you're talking with a woman, notice if your mind starts to wander. Gently bring yourself back to the present moment. Feel your feet on the ground, the temperature of the air, the subtle sense around you. Listen to her words without planning your response. Look at her face, the way her eyes crinkle when she smiles, how she gestures when making a point, the cadence of her speech. See her as a human being sharing a fleeting moment with you. Before approaching someone or during a date, try this simple practice. Take a breath and ask yourself, am I fully here? This quick check-in pulls you out of your head and into the present experience. When you're truly present with a woman, you create a surprisingly rare experience. Most men she meets are distracted or clearly following some internal script rather than connecting with her. Your presence alone makes you stand out. This mindset eliminates the need for rehearsed line. When you're fully present, you respond naturally to what's actually happening. Women can sense this authenticity immediately. According to dating coach Blaine Anderson, women are more attracted to a man's ability to be fully present than his looks, status, or wealth. Your attention is more valuable than your appearance or bank account. This aligns perfectly with the Stoic emphasis on focusing on what you can control, your own engagement. Memento Mori puts rejection in perspective. When you remember life's brevity, you ask yourself, is this rejection really worth fearing? The answer is clearly no. This presence creates a calm confidence that women find magnetic. You're simply experiencing the moment fully, accepting whatever unfolds. When you're not distracted by fears and strategies, you connect more authentically. You hear what she's actually saying rather than what you hope or fear she's saying. You respond to her genuine self, rather than your projection of who you think she is. Your full attention becomes one of the most attractive things you can offer. Remember, this moment will never come again. Are you fully here for premeditation? Malorum, preparing for rejection. The Stoics had a powerful practice called Premeditatio Malorum, the premeditation of evils. This isn't about being negative, it's about mentally preparing for potential negative outcomes before they happen. When it comes to dating, this practice is incredibly valuable. Think about what happens in your body and mind when you approach a woman you're attracted to. For most men, there's an unconscious fear of rejection lurking beneath the surface. This fear affects everything: your body language, your tone of voice, what you say, and how you say it. It creates tension that women can sense immediately. The Stoic solution is counterintuitive, but effective. Instead of trying to suppress this fear or pretend it doesn't exist, you deliberately visualize rejection beforehand. You accept it as a possible outcome. You might think this would make you more anxious, but the opposite happens. Here's a specific exercise to try before your next date. Find a quiet place and sit comfortably. Close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. Now visualize the entire interaction, including a moment where she expresses disinterest. See yourself responding with a genuine smile, saying, "I appreciate your honesty. It was nice meeting you." Feel yourself standing tall, maintaining eye contact, and walking away with confidence. Notice how your body relaxes as you accept this outcome. Take one final deep breath and open your eyes. This mental preparation creates a noticeable calm confidence that women find genuinely attractive. By facing the possibility of rejection in your mind, the actual interaction carries less emotional weight. You're more relaxed, more yourself, and paradoxically, more attractive. This approach differs from positive thinking techniques that focus solely on successful outcomes. Those methods can leave you unprepared when things don't go as imagined. Premeditatio Malorum acknowledges reality while helping you maintain composure and self-respect. When rejection no longer feels threatening, you speak more authentically, rather than saying what you think she wants to hear. This genuine quality comes through in conversation, creating real connection rather than performed interest. Some worry this practice promotes negativity or pessimism. However, it actually fosters realism and emotional preparedness. There's strength in this grounded approach that artificial positivity cannot provide. Women notice when a man handles rejection gracefully. It signals emotional maturity and character strength. From her perspective, she's likely encountered men who responded to rejection poorly. When you accept her no with understanding and respect, you immediately stand apart. Through this preparation, you transform rejection from something feared into valuable information. If she's not interested, that feedback saves both of you time and energy. By removing the emotional sting through preparation, you can recognize rejection for what it is, not a judgment of your worth, but simply a mismatch of interest or time. The calm confidence this practice builds extends beyond dating, creating a foundation for emotional resilience throughout life.